I had a chance to read a meta-analysis done by Brad Schoenfeld and his colleagues on rep speed, where they took a look at a group of studies to see how the speed or length of an individual repetition during a training set affects our ability to build muscle. And while a meta-analysis gives us a better overall conclusion, it still has its limitations, and we'll take a look at those, as well as how we can use the results of this study to improve our own training so that we can get fit and build muscle at any age. The age range of the different studies involved in this analysis was quite wide, from 18 to over 50 years old, all of them untrained. Each of the sets, no matter what the rep speed was performed to failure. Now what they found was there was no difference when it came to muscle hypertrophy or growth as long as the rep speeds were between 2 and 8 seconds, with rep speeds of over 10 seconds bringing about inferior results. These repetitions were done at an even pace, with both the concentric, which is the shortening of the muscle, and the eccentric, which is the lengthening of the muscle, being done for the same length of time. We'll talk about this in a bit, as there are advantages to slowing down the eccentric or negative part of the repetition over the concentric part. This is very useful information, as when we slow down the pace of our reps, we'll need to lighten the weight in order to complete the required number of repetitions. This can be helpful to those of us who get sore joints and tendons from lifting heavy, knowing that we can build just as much muscle with a lighter weight and a slower rep speed, with the added bonus of a reduced chance of injury. There does seem to be a limit though, as going super slow brought about inferior results, with these studies indicating that anything over a 4-second concentric combined with a 4-second negative, which made for a total of an 8-second repetition, produced less muscle gains. Now 8 seconds is a long time for a rep. Most repetitions only take 2 or 3 seconds to complete. Now another advantage is for people who may be training at home, and right now with the different flus and viruses going around, more and more are making this choice. A great workout can still be had with lighter weights. A slower pace is also a good way to improve the mind-muscle connection and really feel the muscles you want to work. Now it's also good to know that on the flip side, that a faster rep speed doesn't have a negative effect on our muscle growth. For most of us, we'll pick a rep speed that is comfortable and go with that. But when we hit a sticking point and we can't seem to progress, increasing your rep speed on that exercise for a few weeks can help us push past this trouble spot, allowing us to get 1 or 2 more reps in, and we'll be able to keep these extra reps as we move back to a regular working pace over the next few workouts. One of the biggest reasons cited as to why a slower rep pace is better is time under tension. But where this extra time under tension is placed makes a difference. In this meta-analysis, they kept the rep pace equal throughout and found when training to failure, as long as the total repetition time was under 8 seconds, there was no real difference in muscle growth. But what if the pace wasn't the same, and you made the negative part of the rep slower? It has been long held that the negative or eccentric part of a rep is where you get the most muscle damage, which ultimately results in more muscle growth. Right around the same time this meta-analysis came out, there was another study published looking at this exact question. They had the participants, who all had at least 1 year lifting experience, do preacher curls with a 4-second negative and a 1-second concentric for a total of a 5-second rep, and compare this to another group who did a 1-second concentric and a 1-second eccentric movement for a total of a 2-second rep. Both groups were training to failure, and after 12 weeks, the group with the 4-second negative built the most muscle and gained the most strength. So if you've decided to give slow rep training a try, it would make sense to slow down the negative portion of the rep over the concentric part. That way, we can keep working out while having fun. This is Lawrence from Fit and 50. We'll talk to you again in the next one.